In this next clip, we're going to talk about how to create freeze frames in various ways with slightly different pros and cons. So go ahead and open up sequence number 3, freeze frames, if you haven't done so already. And yet again, we have this race finish shot. And what I want to do is create a little freeze frame right as he is going through the finish line, maybe right when it snaps. So a couple different ways we can make this happen. It really depends on what my goals are. Let's say I just want the video clip to play up until he crosses the finish line and then freeze for a moment and then carry on. The easiest way to make this happen is to right click on the clip and scroll down until I get Insert Frame Hold Segment. When I select this, what it's done is it split the clip up into 3 pieces. And now I've got a clip that plays up until that moment, it freezes for a few moments, and then carries on. And of course, because this is now essentially a still image, I can make it as long or as short as I need to. Now let me undo that. I'm going to hit Command or Control Z. Let me get back to right around that frame there. Now what if actually what I want is the clip to play up until this point and then just freeze on this frame, and that's maybe the last thing I want to see. I don't need to see the rest of the clip. Well, I can just right click and very easily choose Add Hold Frame. At first, all we see is a little split in the clip, but what it does is it plays the clip up until that point and just turns that last frame into a freeze frame for the remainder of the clip, keeping the timing exactly the way I had it before. Now I can undo that yet again. What if you just want to turn this into a freeze frame, the entire clip? I just want this to really be like a still image of that frame, but I want it to be this exact duration. I can right click, and this one's a little less obvious, but I can go to Frame Hold Options. And this looks like just sort of a settings window, but it is actually going to do something to the clip. Now, by default, it says Source Timecode. Basically, it's just going to select by default the frame you're parked on. And yes, that's the frame I want. You can actually manually override this right here if you knew the exact time code of the frame you were looking for, but I just want the frame that I'm parked on. And so I'll go ahead and hit OK. And nothing looks different, but actually the whole clip is frozen now. It is just that one frame for the entire duration of the clip. You may not use that one all that often, but there it is if you want. The one setting that is probably the most flexible, it takes a little bit of extra work, a couple extra steps, but if you just love this image here and you want the most flexibility, you might use it a couple of times throughout your project, you're probably best off actually exporting this as a still frame and re-importing it into your project. So what I can do is go to the little camera icon here in my program monitor. Now if you don't see this, just simply go to your button editor and drag the camera icon into your button bar here. I'll just go ahead and hit cancel here and hit the little export frame icon. And I get to name this. I'll call it runner across line. Pick my format from many common formats here. And I'll just browse and throw this on my desktop. Probably better to put it in your project folder in a real world scenario here. And I'll just tell it to re-import into the project right away. So I'll hit OK. And almost instantly, I have a image file now that's an actual JPEG that I can not only bring into my timeline here, but really do whatever I want with in any sequence within this project file, use it elsewhere in other projects. Really, really easy to do. So those are a few different ways to employ creating freeze frames in Premiere Pro.